So Halloween is here, and I thought I'd celebrate by giving you a top 5 list for the best games to play this Halloween. Let's give it some thought. What is going on, you horrifyingly skeletal thought-having people, you? Yep, that's about all the time I have for Halloween branding. Anyway, I'll not waste your time with some big long intro today. Just know that this list is filled with my preferences. But I'd love to hear what you guys like to play down in the comments section. So let's get right into this top 5 list recommended by me for the best games to play on Halloween. Until Dawn is literally an interactive horror movie. I grew up watching and worshipping the oversaturated slasher genre, so this game is kind of right up my alley. In Until Dawn, you play as a collection of horror movie tropes and icons. If you've ever watched Cabin in the Woods, you know exactly what I am talking about. You have your innocent girl, tough guy, bookworm, everyone is here. The good thing about this game is that it is centered around a mystery that hopefully isn't spoiled for you, and I won't do it here, but it concerns a really underused monster that I hope creeps into pop culture soon just because of the lore behind it. Most of the game is spent in typical adventure game fashion. You walk around, look for clues, and solve some puzzles. Some really good action sequences take place here, and you'd best be on your toes if you want all of your ragtag group of teenagers to survive. Oh, I didn't mention that? Yeah, you can finish this game with all of your group surviving this disturbing night in the ice-capped mountains, or you could just slip by with one lone traumatized teen. Your choice. This really adds to the replay value, and you can get a different experience every Halloween depending on how you play. This may be the most traditional horror game to make my list, well, except for number 4. And speaking of number 4, the reason Outlast makes this list for me, and I almost didn't want to place it here because it would seem cliche, but the reason it makes my list is for 2 reasons. 1, I just played it and I am still reeling from it, and 2, it is really scary. If you like your Halloweens filled with terrifying jump scares and some really eerie environments, then Outlast is your game. Where Until Dawn pays homage to the slasher and monster subgenre of horror, Outlast comes in and gives you a playable version of found footage horror. You play an investigative journalist armed with nothing but a battery-sucking camera and, well, that's it. You traverse a rundown mental institution which has been rumored to house some kind of secret, but that secret turns out to be, you guessed it, crazy people who have caught the bloodlust. Like Until Dawn, I don't want to give too much away here, but the game revolves around 2 and eventually 3 characters that are all spooky in their own way. Trust me, after you play this, you will never look at anyone named Chris the same way again. The ending kind of killed my enthusiasm for the game, but don't let that stop you from enjoying the downright terrifying journey that is Outlast. Okay, before you get too upset, let me explain. Few games have filled me with dread like the original Bioshock. From the moment you step out of the bathysphere into the fallen city of Rapture, you are filled with this sense of trepidation, while simultaneously wanting to see what the next section of the game holds for you. Each and every level, can you call them levels? You know what I mean. Each and every level has some twisted person who is worse than the last. You have your insane plastic surgeon who can't stop talking about symmetry, to your crazed, narcissistic artiste who will stop at nothing to create the ultimate piece of plaster art. You play a man named Jack who survives an airplane crash and washes up on the underwater city of Rapture's doorstep. You shoot and plasmid your way through the maze-like tunnels, while at the same time uncovering some pretty disturbing secrets about the city itself. And while you're there, you will encounter the most dastardly duo in gaming, Big Daddies and Little Sisters. Whew, how creepy are those little sisters? And how imposing are those big daddies? There is so much lore surrounding them that I don't have the time to get into, but trust me, this game is worth playing just to see them in action alone. Bioshock is a little unconventional for a Halloween list, but few games have the tense, spine-tingling atmosphere that this one does. Yep, there are those nostalgia tingles. Medieval is a game that was a staple during my childhood. I played it every single Halloween until, well, I can't give my number 1 away yet, but just know I played the heck out of this one. It's a bit goofy, but don't let that cartoony aesthetic fool you. It is perfect for Halloween. Every single thing you could want from the whimsical side of horror is here. You got your ghosts, you got your imps, you got your witches. The game even gets a bit creative with its monsters, especially the first boss that is a stained glass demon. The star of the game, without a doubt, is the player character, Sir Dan Fortescue. You may have seen him on the recent, well, kind of recent PlayStation All-Stars. He's a fallen soldier who is worshipped by the surrounding country because he commanded the army that defended them against the main villain's forces many years ago. except he didn't really defend anything. He was shot down by the first arrow fired in the battle, but everyone still sees him as a hero after he is raised from the dead, and this leads to some really funny interactions with the NPCs, especially the ones that know how Sir Dan bit the dust. The light platforming and camera don't really hold up to today's standards, but few games are well designed as this one. It really is a standout in the PlayStation 1 library, and I do believe it is still for sale on the PlayStation Store on PS3, so treat yourself to this classic tonight. You won't be disappointed. And finally, we get to my favorite game for the Halloween season, Costume Quest. No other game on the market embodies what it means to be a kid on Halloween more than this one. You literally trick or treat your way around neighborhoods collecting candy, trading collectible cards, and even play the odd game of hide and seek. Of course, this wouldn't be the game it is without its fantastically simple turn-based combat. It is based around which costume you outfit your party with and which treat cards you have equipped. Then, with timed button presses, you battle your way to victory over the Repudians, which are monsters sent to kidnap you from another dimension. You play as either Ren or Reynold, a pair of twins, which, after one is kidnapped by the Repudians, the other runs off to rescue them. The game may seem a bit kiddie, but it has its share of adult humor sprinkled throughout. There are even a few puzzle elements that you can use your costume's field power to get around. The thing is, the game is really simple and embodies everything I love about Halloween. And the best thing about it, you can finish it in a day, which will completely override anything social on Halloween. Okay, maybe that's not a good thing, but it sure was for me when I was in high school. Since 2010, I have played this game or its sequel on or around every single Halloween, and to my delight, it never gets old. It is one of 2 games I have ever gotten all the trophies for, if that tells you anything about my enjoyment. If you like straightforward turn-based mechanics and you are stuck with nothing to do on Halloween, I can't suggest another game more. So that's the end of my list. If you have any games you think are missing from this list, especially games that are actually in the horror genre, why not tell me about them in the comments? I like the more whimsical kind of Halloween games, so that's why my top 2 were those kind of games, but I'd love to know what you guys play on Halloween down in the comments. But I think that's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed this video, you know what you have to do. Hit that like button for me, and if you're new here, why not subscribe? I put out a new video every single day, and it's mostly news videos, but every now and then I'll do a video like this that's a little bit of a service to my subscribers. But I hope you enjoyed, and I hope you have a fantastic Halloween. And I think that's it for me today. Thank you so much for watching. And remember, give thought to everything.